Please welcome Rachel Zegler and Gadot.
Visual effects push the boundaries of what we see on screen.
Their work makes the impossible seem possible.
With breathtaking ambition, they create magic that wraps its arms around our wildest imaginations.
Here are the nominees for Best Visual Effects.
Something just felt off the moment Rachel Zegler and Gadot hit the Oscar stage together. The cameras were rolling, the crowd was electric, and yet not a single ounce of chemistry between them. No eye contact, no friendly smiles, no subtle nods, nothing, just straight-up frosty vibes. It was like watching two queens from rival kingdoms forced into a photo op. You didn't even have to squint to see the tension. It was dripping off the screen. They weren't even trying to hide it. And let's be real, this wasn't just a moment of awkward stage presence. This was full-on confirmation. Months of whispers, fan theories, and Twitter threads about a raging feud between Zegler and Gadot, all now seemingly proven in front of the entire Hollywood elite. This wasn't just off award, it was confirmation. So, what blew this co-star relationship to pieces? What behind-the-scenes chaos turned Snow White from a fairy tale dream into a PR horror show? Well, buckle up, because the drama started the second this film entered production, and it's only got messier from there.
The new show poster meme. I mean, nobody could quite understand why the beautiful Snow White was actually being played by Rachel Zegler to begin with, right? I mean, and Gal Gadot, like, mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm sorry, like, there's one that's winning that game, and I say this as a woman, okay?
The moment Rachel Zegler was announced as Snow White, the internet basically exploded. People were stunned, confused, and straight-up furious. This wasn't just any role, this was the Disney princess. Fans were baffled. Snow White is supposed to be the fairest of them all, the picture of soft elegance and classic beauty that even made the evil queen spiral into jealousy. But fans? They weren't buying what Disney was selling. The casting fell off, and when Rachel stood next to Gal Gadot, who, by the way, was cast as the evil queen, viewers couldn't help but notice the roles felt flipped. The contrast was wild. If anything, the roles looked reversed and the memes brutal. But it wasn't just Rachel's appearance that sparked the outrage, it was her whole vibe. From the jump, she talked about the movie like she didn't even want to be in it, like she was doing Disney a favor. She treated the project with open disdain.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
She didn't just distance herself from the original. She dragged it. She mocked its themes, ridiculed its romance, and publicly dismissed the animated classic that defined generations. Rachel wasn't just stepping into Snow White's shoes. She was publicly tearing the whole fairy tale down. Like, girl, you're starring in it. At least pretend you respect the legacy.
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. Right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. Yeah. It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024.
And let's not forget, Disney was already skating on thin ice. Their recent track record? Flop after flop. Recent flops had put the studio on shaky ground. So when Snow White started looking like another guaranteed bomb, people started sounding the alarm.
Between that and Israel, like, I'm just thinking that this movie's not going to do so well. I think a lot of people are going to say, you know what? I have better things to do with my time. I have better things to do with my money. I don't need to support an actress like that.
Fans weren't just annoyed, they were done. Social media was flooded with people swearing they'd skip this movie altogether. They were promising to boycott the movie altogether. And with projections looking grim, what did Rachel do? She didn't take accountability, didn't pivot, didn't even soften her tone. Instead, she did the worst thing possible. She played the victim.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
So the criticism rolls in, and instead of addressing the film's missteps, Rachel flips the narrative. Suddenly, it's all about her. She had been receiving death threats. Now, let's be crystal clear. No one should ever be harassed online. Ever. But the timing? Convenient. To fans, it looked like classic PR deflection. Shift focus, milk sympathy, avoid the real issues. It was a classic deflection tactic, and people saw right through it. And if you thought that was the end of it, oh no. Rachel wasn't done pouring gasoline on this dumpster fire.
You have someone like Gal Gadot, who's gorgeous physically and who seemingly has a great personality. I mean, she did do that cringe COVID ad. But seriously, though, when you see her in interviews and all of that, she's smiling, she's bubbly, she's just seems a lot more kind-hearted. We have this circulating everywhere. Everybody's saying that again. So now I'm sharing this from Geeks and Gamers because I've been blocked by Rachel Zegler, so I can't see what she said. So she's catching heat online after her Instagram post where she goes, "I'm the fairest, by the way. Don't tell me that isn't about this. You can't tell me that. By the way, I'm the fairest." This reeks of narcissism so bad. She just can't handle the thought that some people that honestly, I would venture to say most people find Gal Gadot more beautiful than her.
She hops on X, formerly Twitter, and drops this cryptic little gem, calling herself the dearest. She posted a cryptic message on X referring to herself as the dearest. And fans immediately started decoding it like it was a hidden message in a Taylor Swift song. Was she mocking Gal? Was this an inside joke thrown out to stir the pot? Fans immediately took it as a passive-aggressive dig. And just like that, the off-screen tension burst into the public eye. Now, people weren't just speculating, they were watching every move. And let's be honest, the contrast was brutal. Gal? Radiant, graceful, always composed. Rachel? Defensive, cold, and seemingly annoyed she had to be there at all. The contrast was impossible to ignore. Now, with the press tour looming and this feud fully exposed, one massive question remains. How the hell are they going to fake it through all these upcoming appearances?
She is giving like an "I don't want to be here right now" smile, and Gal Gadot just looks so sweet, so nice. It's a stark difference. So here she is giving her interview, and she just looks like, "I don't want to be here right now." And that's one reason, and that's the thing, is that's one reason that does make Gal Gadot a likable person. Same here. Look how she's happy. She's like, "Oh, buddy, buddy." And Rachel Zegler just looks like, yeah, she does look like she can't stand her.
At this point, the internet was already buzzing with rumors. But now, we've got footage. There was actual footage, actual proof that something was seriously off. Watch Rachel next to Gal, and tell me that isn't pure misery. Her body language screams, "Get me out of here." Meanwhile, Gal's doing what she always does, smiling, laughing, working the room like a queen. She doesn't just look uncomfortable, she looks like she wants to be anywhere else in the world. And Rachel, instead of taking the high road and trying to salvage her rep, she doubled down. She went and dropped a bombshell that made everything worse. She proudly admitted to being a narcissist.
I'm a narcissist. Original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Okay.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. And then it became like, I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part. A lot of people will assume it's a love story just because like we cast a guy in the movie, Andrew Burnap. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
I say, if I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Yeah, she said it. Out loud. In public. Yes, she actually said it out loud. It was the mic drop moment that sealed the deal for critics and fans alike. If anyone was still unsure about Rachel's intentions or attitude, this was the final straw. People weren't just surprised, they were eating it up. Because who, in the middle of a PR disaster, says that out loud with their whole chest? But here's the kicker, they still have to promote this movie. Like it or not, Zegler and Gadot are contractually obligated to show up, sit through interviews, smile for the cameras, and pretend that they don't completely despise each other. And how are they supposed to do that when they can't even make eye contact on stage? It's a ticking time bomb, and Disney knows it. The studio is running full speed into crisis mode, desperately trying to spin this PR disaster into something salvageable. But at this point, can it even be salvaged? The public has already made up its mind, and the damage is done. And the worst part, there's no escape. They'll be forced into interviews, red carpets, and photo ops where every awkward second will be magnified. Every look, every smile, every word, and no matter how hard they try to fake it, people will see right through it. So now the question is, can they survive the promo tour without it all falling apart in public? Or is the real show about to begin? Because if this is how bad it is before the press tour is going to be more entertaining than the film itself. Rachel clearly can't mask her disdain. Gal, on the other hand, she's been in the game long enough to know exactly how to keep it classy. Rachel, not so much. And that's what makes this so explosive. One wrong move, and it all unravels. This feud isn't going anywhere. If anything, it's only getting worse. The clock is ticking. And whether the movie bombs or not, this PR train wreck will go down in history as one of Disney's most awkward, chaotic, and uncomfortable rollouts ever. The film itself might be forgettable, but this PR nightmare people will be talking